Hello and welcome back to a Bangy's Palace. That's what it is. Last video I said that I'd start making videos again if you got me 15 likes / comments, and you blew that out of the water. I mean, of course, Ryan's like 15 comments, they only counted as 2, but kudos to you because I actually did laugh pretty hard at that. I was actually in tears. That was pretty good. So the last couple videos were kind of bummers. This is kind of a bummer too. But the next one, I promise you, will be upbeat and good. So let's get right into it. This week, the rock community, especially prog rock, has suffered a pretty sizable blow. Any prog rock fan, you know that the band Emerson, Lake and Palmer was just as prog rock influential as Rush, Pink Floyd, who else? Yes. Some of the they did Magic Carpet Ride. You know who they are. But this year we're down 2 out of 3 of Emerson, Lake and Palmer, as most of you, if not all of you, know. Keith Emerson shot himself in March after nerve degeneration in his hand, inhibited his playing, developed depression, and went ahead and shot himself. So may he rest in peace. And now, as of Wednesday, December 7th, we've lost Greg Lake as well. I have an article from Fox News here. I've done research to make sure that this is real and not a scam. Plenty of articles, but this is an article from Fox News. I'm just going to read the whole thing. It's not too long. Sorry if I stutter. I'm not very good at reading stuff out loud. But, here we go. This is on Fox News. Musician Greg Lake, a prog rock pioneer who co-founded King Crimson and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, has died. He was 69. Manager Stuart Young said in a statement that Lake died on Wednesday after, quote, a long and stubborn battle with cancer, end quote. It doesn't specify what kind of cancer. And none of my research has told what kind of cancer. Born in southern English seaside town of Poole in 1947, Lake founded King Crimson with guitarist Robert Fripp in the late 1960s. The band pioneered sprawling, ambitious genre that came to be known as progressive rock. Yeah. He went on to form ELP, or Emerson, Lake and Palmer, with keyboardist Keith Emerson and drummer Carl Palmer, with Lake as vocalist and guitarist and bassist. That's not in here, but he played both bass most of the time. ELP impressed crowds at the 1970 Isle of Wight Festival in a lineup that also featured Jimi Hendrix and The Who. That must have been awesome. I'm just saying that. Oh man, that would have been great to see. I would have loved to see that. Continuing on, the band released 6 platinum-selling albums characterized by songs of epic length, classical influence, and ornate imagery, and toured with elaborate light shows and theatrical staging. One album was a live interpretation of Russian composers modest... This is Russian. I'm going to try to say it right. Mussorgsky's Pictures at an Exhibition. It reached top 10 in both Britain and the United States, a feat that seems astonishing now. Another, Tarkus, contains a 20-minute-long track telling the story of the Titular creature, a mythic armadillo tank. Could you imagine that, an armadillo tank? Emerson, Lake and Palmer's 1973 album Brain Salad Surgery. I have that. Where are you? Oh, brain salad surgery, oh, brain salad surgery. Where art thou, oh, brain salad surgery? I'll find it. Give me a minute here. Okay. Oh, here it is. Da da da. Brain Salad Surgery, a phenomenal album, by the way. Not to make lighthearted of Greg Lake's death, but that is a fantastic album. Emerson Lake and Palmer's 1973 album, sorry, I'm getting an alert, Brain Salad Surgery included a nearly 30-minute composition called Carn Evil 9 that featured a Moog synthesizer and an eerie, carnival-like lyric, "Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends." Whew, that is a fantastic song, just so you know. The band did phenomenal. They 100%. They filled stadiums and sold records by the millions, but ELP and other prog rock bands such as Yes and the Moody Blues suffered a backlash with the arrival of punk in the mid to late 1970s. They were ridiculed as the embodiment of pomposity and self-indulgence that rock supposedly eschewed. ELP broke up in 1979 and reunited in 1991, later disbanded again and reunited for a 2010 tour. 1991, they released Black Moon, the single from that record. Really good, I love it. Emerson died in March from a self-inflicted gunshot wound found at his home in Santa Monica, California. That was a typo. Palmer, the group's sole survivor, said Greg's soaring voice and skill as a musician will be remembered by all who knew his music. End quote. Another quote, "Having lost Keith this year as well has made this particularly hard for all of us," Palmer said. As Greg sang at the end of Pictures at the end of Exhibition, "Death is life. His music can now live on forever in the hearts of all who loved him." End quote. Lake's songs as a solo artist include "I Believe in Father Christmas," an enduring, sensational staple first released in 1975. I don't know what to say, guys. I mean, this is pretty bad. I mean, we've lost Keith and Greg now, and Carl's the only one alive. And I mean, I love Emerson, Lake and Palmer. The combination of Carl Palmer's insane drumming. I mean, that guy, I mean, Bonham's still the best, in my opinion, and a lot of others. And don't start an argument in the comments, because I'm going to get ticked. Bonham's still the best. But Carl Palmer's insane drum solos really drove it on. Greg Lake's, his really high vocals and they really packed a punch sometimes when he wanted to, but then he could back off and really let it go. And he was phenomenal bassist, great guitar player. And Keith, I'm just gonna say it now, it was the best keyboard player ever to walk the face of the earth. I mean, he was the man. I mean, that guy. He had just the synthesizer that was 6.5 feet tall with the Hammond organ under it and a whole bunch of other stuff surrounding him was just great. And I love Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and I really do want to have all 4 of their albums, but it's a shame that we lost Greg Lake, and we can only hope that soon they'll find a cure for cancer, and that we won't have to lose any more great musicians. I mean, we lost David Bowie earlier this year, too. I'm not a huge fan of David Bowie, but I know a lot of people who are. And, I mean, I don't like what he sang, and I don't like what he did as a musician, but I will say that he was successful. But, yeah, sorry to bring your days down, my fellow prog rocking amigos. other than that, that's pretty much all I have for this video. If you want to have me review brain salad surgery, I can and gladly will. Other than that, I don't know what to say, guys. I mean, let's just hope that we don't lose Carl in the next, what is today? The 9th! I know that! Today's the 9th. Great day for me and somebody else. In the next, what is that? 21 days. Cross our fingers we don't lose Carl Palmer in the next 21 days. Or anybody else in the music industry. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your lives. And may both Keith Emerson and Greg Lake rest in peace. Maybe somewhere they're starting to write some tunes again and jamming along. Thank you, Cal.